Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I will be also going into the football side of the channel, and I'm going to go over my Premier League team of the season so far. I mean, of course, Premier League football has been grinding to a halt at the moment due to everything going on in the world, and we're not sure when or if it will come back for this season at least. But yeah, of course, we have still played about 28, 29 games in the Premier League, so it's important. So it's a good amount of games ready to pick a team of the season so far and know who stood out. Of course, there has been one dominant team in the league this season. That has been Liverpool, who sit 25 points clear. But I mean, this doesn't mean that this team is going to be full of their players, even though a lot of them, admittedly, probably will be. But yeah, we'll crack on. And goalkeeper is, I'd say, interesting choice. I'd probably say the standout has to have been Dean Henderson, though. I mean, Sheffield United have been a breath of fresh air this season, and Henderson has been a big part of that. I mean, he's made some terrific saves, and he's generally had some great performances, and Sheffield United generally have been, like I said, a breath of fresh air this season. So, and Henderson is, I think next season Manchester United could consider giving him a chance over David De Gea with how good he's been this season. I wouldn't be surprised if they did do that. But yeah, I mean, I'd say out of all the keepers in the league, there's been a few good performers, but I'd say Henderson's been the standout. Right back for me, there's only one winner. I mean, and that is Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, there has been right-backs who have had good seasons. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's adapted quite well at Manchester United. But I'd overall just have to say Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, watching him against Leicester on Boxing Day was probably one of the best performances I've ever seen, especially from a fullback. He was absolutely brilliant, and he is fantastic. And even though he's a little bit suspect at times defensively, he's just overall a fantastic player with unreal crossing ability. So yeah, it's got to be Trent Alexander-Arnold for me. The two centre-backs, now one of them I'm probably just going to have to go with Virgil van Dijk, just because how good he really is and just how much he's improved that Liverpool defence since coming in. He's been rock solid, and he just continues to get better and better, really. He's been absolutely fantastic this season as well. And my other centre-back is going to be Soyuncu from Leicester. I mean, Soyuncu had a very, very good start to the season. Since Christmas he has faded a little bit, but the way he's came in and replaced Harry Maguire is admirable, and I think that, of course, Leicester currently sit in the top 4 places, so there'll be another team hoping this season does not get scrapped with all their hard work. I mean, Leicester have, like I said, the whole team has dipped since Christmas, but full credit to Soyuncu. He stepped up in that Harry Maguire's place brilliantly, and he's been superb all season, really. So yeah, I'm going to go with Soyuncu. It was difficult. I mean, there's a few choices for my second centre back, but Soyuncu overall's got to be the one. Left back is pretty, for me, a very easy decision. Andy Robertson. I think there's not a left back who comes close to him in the Premier League. He's that far ahead of everyone else. It's, and this season again, he's been fantastic. A few assists. He's good defensively. He's good going forward. Arguably the most complete fullback in the Premier League for me, Andy Robertson. And again, he's just improved so much in signing for Liverpool. And yeah, he's an easy decision at left back, in my opinion. Midfield, now, this is where it does get quite difficult in midfield, because there's been a few good ones this season. First off, I'm going to have to say Jordan Henderson. I think he's really stepped up at Liverpool this season, and not only has he become a leader, but his performances on the pitch have been much, much better as well. His passing range and just generally his leadership is something that has been superb. So yeah, for me, you've got to put Henderson in there. Another centre midfielder, Kevin De Bruyne, again, quite easy. Been by far Man City's best player this season. And if the season finishes, I wouldn't be surprised if De Bruyne goes on and breaks the assist record currently held by Thierry Henry. Yeah, massive fan of Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, obviously last season he was really hindered by injuries, but this season he's been superb from day one, and yeah, he's definitely got to be in one of the midfielders. Another centre midfielder. Now this is where it gets difficult. Actually, I was stuck really on who to pick in this area. I'm actually going to go for James Maddison. I mean, obviously it's a bit of a toss up between him and probably Jack Grealish, who has been brilliant for Villa, but Maddison, again, I guess like Leicester's form as a whole has kind of faded, but I'm a big James Maddison fan, and for me, I think he's got a bigger future than Jack Grealish in the Premier League, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Maddison end up at Manchester United or maybe even like Man City or someone in a few years, because I do think he's very good, and he's been good, and he was a big part of Leicester's early season form. And again, I mean, he could be having Champions League football with Leicester next season as well, if the season does continue. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to put Maddison probably just ahead of Jack Grealish. Front three, again, this is slightly difficult. On the left wing, I'd put Sadio Mane because I think Mane would probably be my overall player of the season, to be honest. I think, he's just got a brilliant attitude, Mane. He never gives up on the pitch. And yeah, he's just absolutely brilliant player. And again, he's improved so much in signing for Liverpool. And this season, for me, he scored so many important late winners. And just generally, he rarely has a bad game, Mane. And he steps up in virtually every game. Now, my right winger, now this is the hard part because this took me a while to pick actually. I probably would just go with Salah because you can't fault the man's goal scoring record, Salah. Maybe he doesn't always perform as well as Mane in games, but in terms of a goal scorer, for me, Salah's got to be up there for me. He's just scores so many goals and he's in games a lot as well, even if he's having a good or a bad game. But yeah, for me, he's the top of the league, Liverpool, and obviously Salah has been a big part of that, being their top scorer, so it'd be hard to look past him. And my number 9 is going to be Jamie Vardy, because again, the success story of Vardy has took another, brilliant turn this season. Since Rodgers just came in, he's scored plenty of goals, and he's just a very prolific striker. And Jamie Vardy, of course, has a very inspirational story of being the player to score the most goals in consecutive games. But yeah, Vardy again this season, I think for his early season form, it'd be difficult to look past putting him in the number 9 position. So yeah, I'd go with Jamie Vardy for me as my striker. So yeah, I mean, as you can tell, that it's mainly littered with Leicester and Liverpool players, as it probably would be, because Leicester, of course, are in the top 4, and Liverpool, of course, are dominating the league. And I mean, Leicester being in the top 4 seems to have been quite overshadowed this year by Sheffield United's great season and Liverpool dominating the league, but they deserve their credit. I mean, since Christmas, they have dipped form, admittedly, and they've not been as good. But still, I mean, fair play to them, and fair play to Brendan Rodgers for getting them up there as well. And I think the rest of the season, if it does resume, of course, is going to be very interesting. It's interesting to see how the clubs do cope with the break that's happened. Obviously, the break that wasn't expected as well. And yeah, and now they have delayed the Euros 2020 to next year. I think that will free up time to finish the season, and I'm sure the FA will want the season to finish. I mean, whatever people say about Liverpool, I don't think anyone can really argue that they deserve the title this season with how good they have been. And to have waited 30 years and for this to happen is just devastating, as it would be. But yeah, I mean, I think that as well, if Liverpool do go on and win the league, which if the league resumes, is pretty much inevitable. Next season, I do wonder who will challenge, but of course, we'll give a team of the season at the end of the season. I assume the season will resume behind closed doors, if it does, but we will have to wait and see with what happens in the world coming up. But yeah, I mean, thank you for watching again. Like, share and subscribe, please, and feel free to give your team of the season in the comments. Thank you. See you soon.